Scapegoat Run Parasites just dropped a massive new beta update. New lore, new bug fixes, and somehow more questions than answers. So in this video, we're diving in the newest SRP lore, my thoughts on what it all means, and where I think this mod story is heading next. Now, let's talk about the 1.10.6 patch release. Patched up packets to avoid OOM, whatever that means. What the fuck? Made effects have unique particle colors. Changed several potion effect textures. Changed some of the growth block texture GUIs, which looks amazing by the way. Updated vomit overlay, which is amazing. Oh my god, when you would get vomit on you, you literally would die. You just wouldn't see anything. They do still need to fix it because it kind of edges you. It like shows you it's about to end and then it just like hard resets. But I really like the animation of it slowly fading out. They just gotta fix it up a bit. They made the no vision overlay slightly transparent, which again is amazing. Made viral and bleeding overlays half transparent through texture files, and removed transparency from code. Updated idle sounds for Assimilated Enderman. I think these are it. Maybe I'm wrong. Added sounds for the Assimilated Enderman, which is amazing. Added sounds for the moving flesh and incomplete form, which is amazing because before it sounded kind of suspect, if you know what I mean, gangster. Added block sounds for several blocks: Purifier, Lures, Flesh Blocks, and Aska Bulbs. Assimilated humans now have a small chance to play old idle sounds. Made lures glow slightly. This is the best I could do. Added a new particle for when a player interacts with the Purifier, and added a new Purifier sound. Updated textures for 4 Comet and 3. Changed Eye the Beholder texture and model. Oh my god, it looks so good. The biggest thing that they've dropped in the last update was the new lore for assimilated mobs and crude parasites. Some of the new text in this compendium is actually mind-boggling, bro. One thing SRP definitely is implying is that the parasites seem to have a connection to their past lives. Like take the Assimilated Adventurer, for example. Remember, one of the spawning mechanics for this mob is by a regular player dying with the Call of the Hive effect. Keep this in mind for the next part, because they heavily imply this. Let's take a look at the Assimilated Adventurer's lore. Observed, traveling in loose groups. But once enough gather, they begin to match pace. They still check containers, doorways, and camp-like structures, as if memory survives in fragments. Occasionally, one will stop and stare into familiar spaces for several seconds, as though trying to remember what it once was. They appear to like assimilated dogs. I guess some things never change. Yeah, Scapegoat Run Parasites is literally telling us they contain fragments of their memory. Now, if you're thinking this is just the Assimilated Adventurer because it ties it to the player, you're wrong. Here's something I found very interesting. Out of all the farm animals, the only one that is implied to contain fragments of memory is the pig. Let's take a look at the pig's lore. At a distance, it can still pass for an ordinary animal, especially when idle. Closer observation reveals constant chewing motions and abrupt changes in focus. It roots through organic waste remains and contaminated growth with equal interest. Very little of the original temperament appears intact, other than its impressive intelligence. I've seen it mindlessly roll around in the dirt and dig up carrots, but they just fall out of its maw, seemingly unwilling to commit to fully consuming it. Roll around in the dirt and dig up carrots, which by the way, carrots being the thing that breeds and attracts pigs in Minecraft. Very interesting. Funny enough, the only other animal that contains memory is the wolf. Why the wolf, you're probably asking? The lore states, wolves respond quickly to movement and rarely attacks without testing distance first. Multiple specimens will begin circling behavior even when no clear pack leader is present, implying the old instinct survives in broken form. I've seen some with collars still strapped around their necks, and they react very oddly when their former names printed on their collars are called out. Now this is very interesting because the human pig and the wolf contain memory. Studies show that pigs are often one of the smartest farm animals on the planet. Pigs are also compared to dogs a lot when referring to intelligence. Now, just to specify, I'm not saying the other animals are dumb or anything. The other animals are actually really intelligent, but in their own ways. Because there's a clear, noticeable gap between the pig and wolf compared to every other animal. And you can see this in their lores. Because out of every other farm animal, none of them seem to have a fragment of memory of their past selves. So does this imply that intelligence ties to distant memory? I'm not sure. Because something kind of throws a wrench into this hypothesis. And that is the assimilated octopus. The assimilated octopus lore states that it moves through water with an almost passive grace, treading rot, debris, and infectious matter. As it drifts, areas at frequency become visibly foul over time. It shows little urgency when approached. The surrounding current often carries pieces of it farther than the body travels. I can't tell which end the mouth is. Maybe it has two. Besides that weird ending, doesn't show any signs of containing past memory. But even though it doesn't contain memory, the way the octopus functions is very strange in an intelligent way. Bear with me, okay? It focuses on shredding rot, debris, and infectious matter. I would assume that this implies it spreads the infection through shedding rot. So perhaps the ideology of it spreading the infection is intelligent, or at least more intelligent when referring to the other lesser animals? I don't know, man, okay? Just keep in mind, this is all beta. The devs can literally decide to change any of this tomorrow, but I think my theory is at least somewhat true. It's kind of funny how I mentioned the devs can literally decide to change the lore tomorrow, because they literally did that. The assimilated villager is the most confusing, frustrating lore I've read so far. The lore definitely pushes my hypothesis on the idea that the parasites contain information depending on the intelligence. Because I'm assuming the villager would have the same intelligence as a regular person, but I don't know. Out of all the other lores I've read to you so far, this one's a little different. Please pay attention, because this one might be the most important lore we read in this entire video. Still turns its head towards movement with the same curious rhythm seen in normal villagers. Some have been observed lingering near doorways, workstations, and former gathering places. The resemblance ends the moment one closes distance. Whatever social instinct remains has been hollowed out and repurposed with a grotesque imitation. I've seen one that did not approach in open aggression, though it looked nothing like a villager. 6 legs, long hair, and an odd face. Something tall and pulsing runs along the back of its neck. I once watched it place something strange into the hands of another thing. It seemed as though it was carrying out some sort of exchange. I feel like it's trying to say something, but I just can't seem to make sense of its hollow noises. Oh my god! What the f? Keep in mind, this thing understands the complexity of exchangement. This is so weird, like on so many levels. First of all, this is not a villager. Okay, I hate to hit you with the cold water, but this whole thing seems so strange. Why is this mystery monster in the villager compodium? Like, I mean, this is obviously not a vanilla mob that's been assimilated. Think about it. Even vanilla monsters on the newest version don't have 6 legs. So this has to be a parasite that's already in game, right? Or at least that's not been released yet? I have no clue. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what's happening. So judging based on this, we can use the process of elimination to determine who this monster is, right? Obviously, we're doing this under the ideology that whatever parasite they're hinting at is already in game. So, process of elimination. Let's find our culprit. But before we do that, please consider subscribing if you've made it this far. These videos take so long to make, and your subscription would really help me reach my goal of 10,000 before 2027. Now, 6 legs, long hair, odd face, tall and pulsing on its neck. So much things, let's just start off with 6 legs. What parasites have 6 legs? Adapted Vascara. Ancient Overlord, the Prin, Colony Carrier, Monarch, I think that's how you say it, and all the walking heads. So it's none of these. For multiple reasons. An odd face is subjective, so let's just take that out of the question. But long hair eliminates everything. This is something new. So this would mean Scapegoat Run Parasites is going to drop a new parasite, right? After reading all of these lore entries, one question kept popping up. Okay, wait a damn minute. I noticed this in the last two, but who is telling us this? This is what's so confusing. Because there is going to be lore for every parasite we've seen. But even he has never seen this strange monster. 6 legs, long hair, and an odd face. Who made the Compodium? How does this strange person know everything? How does he know everything? And where is he now? Before we talk about other things besides lore, there's one more parasite we have to talk about. My Smoochkin's Pookie Bear. My rock. My lover. My wife. The sole reason that I've made so much videos on this infection mod, the Dredge. I'm not gonna lie to you. Her lore pisses me off a little bit, okay? It's too complex. It's too well written. It's too lore adjacent. It's too important. Nah, bro. I'ma do my own thing. Let me help you out, Scape and Run Parasites team. Huh? Pakora? The big PP himself? Let's all agree this is the new lore for the sake of my mental health. Measured violence. Beneath an otherworldly executioner's skull, the body closes in deliberate loops, testing ribs, throat, and spine with the calm precision of something that already knows where the human frame and spirit gives first. The tail leaves the victim reeling with a violent loss of coordination long before death. Its victims are left in a state resembling ataxia, telangiectasia, but accelerated into something cruelly imminent. The struggle is prolonged with too much care to be accidental. No other parasite of this tier appears so invested in keeping prey conscious through the worst of it. Whether it feeds on chemicals of panic or on the memory shaken loose by suffering, I cannot say yet. Huh? My dyslexic brain had a stroke trying to comprehend half those words? I should go on strike from SRP for them trying to make me read above the 3rd grade level. That is some f***ed up things you'll be hearing from my lawyers. Pakora. I don't know why I'm calling this guy out. I'm so sorry, bro. It's setting off every red flag this noodle can think of. First off, this red text is the only red text in the entire Compodium for parasites under lore. Let's break this down piece by piece, okay? What the f is ataxia telangiectasia? According to my clevelandclinic.org, atalaxia telangiectasia is a rare genetic condition that targets the nervous system, immune system, and other systems throughout your body. The condition is a neurodegenerative, when the cells in your body's central nervous system progressively stop working. People diagnosed with AT most commonly have trouble with movement and coordination. So why would they highlight this? Because this is exactly what the Dredge does. It's very odd, because for the longest time, I thought the parasites were just a hive mind. They don't think, they don't react. Their goal is just to eat and consume, and we are just an obstacle in their way. But this poses a different question. The Dredge seems to enjoy torturing victims. Purposely keeping it alive to suffer is uncharacteristic from what I've seen from the other parasites. But I don't think AT was highlighted because it's a very good explanation of what the Dredge does. I think it's highlighted because it shows the person writing this is medically educated. If I had to guess, and this is based on everything we've covered so far, the person writing this is a scientist, and their goal is to research and learn as much as possible about these parasites. I would assume he would want to find a cure, or a goal to beat them, or a way to survive, but he was unsuccessful. The Compodium is a lost remnant of this scientist's notes. The relay tower, the biome purifier, perhaps even the lures are creations this scientist has made and we are just picking up the pieces of his lost work. I really like this idea, but truthfully, I don't think it's correct. The biggest question is, how did the scientist study the parasites before the meteor fell? The meteor obviously being the start of the infection. And I know people out there in the comments are going to make the argument that, oh, the meteor isn't canon. And truthfully, I don't even know if that's true or not. But honestly, if you really think about it, it doesn't even matter. Because how could the scientist study endgame parasites before the infection even reaches those stages? When we enter the world, it's phase 0. The only way that would work is if the phase reset. But why would that happen? It makes no sense. I don't know. It's so confusing. It's either two things. Number one, we're missing a piece of crucial lore that the devs haven't released yet, or my theory is incorrect. So much mystery. So much things yet to discover, and so much more questions than answers. I am so excited to see what's next, and I know you guys are too. Remember to stay safe, healthy, and happy, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.